Albuquerque, but it's up and down to the east. Here's Olga.
Yeah, it definitely is. And yesterday was a pretty cool day in and around our northeast zones and even down toward the southeast. This is our 24-hour temperature change map, and you can see all of that orange off toward the east. That's how much we improved with today's highs. So this was a milder day than what we've seen in that region over the past. Things are going to change up and down. We'll get another couple of cool days over the next few before the following backdoor front moves on through. Right now it is 55 in Tucumcari, 43 in Durango. We're sitting at about 52 for Socorro right now, and pretty warm out toward Reserve at 60 degrees. It's going to be a pretty quiet night tonight. We have a few passing clouds. Temperatures are going to start to go down. We're already seeing them falling from the 50s into the 40s across the Albuquerque metro, and it will definitely be a pretty chilly start to your Monday morning. Beautiful view of the mountains. We definitely have our skies clear now, but a few clouds are going to move in. What remaining wind gusts we have that are over 15-20 miles per hour will diminish, and basically we will see a pretty quiet night tonight.
Quite a mild and dry stretch, but Olga, you're tracking a strong cold front, maybe going to bring some chill by Friday.
Yeah, everything is going to be different, especially for next weekend. We'll be overcast, we'll be a little damp, some snow, some rain, but definitely colder temperatures. This morning we really put on a bit of a chill. We had teens across that northern tier in and around Durango and for Raton, 10 for Gallup this morning, but we've come a long way. So far, the numbers aren't officially in, but we made it well into the middle 50s in and around the Albuquerque metro with 57. We held back in Santa Fe into the upper 40s this afternoon, but overall, the majority of locations did trend above average for today. This evening, you can expect a few clouds if you're going to be out and about, but definitely cooling things down rapidly, especially during that 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour. Right now, we still have clear skies. A few high clouds are starting to filter on through, but these temperatures are really beginning to tumble. We're down into the lower 40s in Farmington, mid to upper 40s for Rio Rancho and for Ruidoso. And again, we're right around 42 degrees at the Sunport. The current temperatures are feeling pretty good by January standards, and we're finally dialing back our wind gusts. A few lingering gusts are possible across the north central mountains, but overall, it's going to be a quiet night, especially here in the Albuquerque metro. By 10 o'clock, we're at 36 degrees. We'll continue to see a few passing clouds overnight tonight, but temperatures definitely going down. We should see these temperatures bottom out right around that 30-degree mark. For most of us, though, it's going to be a pretty dry week and a pleasant week, especially when we get into Thursday. But by Friday, all of that changes. Right now, we're tracking a strong cold front, which is going to bump up our potential for some rain, even mixing with some snow here in the Albuquerque metro. While this is not very high confidence right now, we do have a bit of a suggestion that there could be some areas with some pretty significant snow. This is our GFS forecast model. It's showing an inch, even 2 inches up toward Durango across our northern zones. Higher elevations like Ruidoso could see upwards of an inch, getting you into the Friday time frame. But then on Saturday into Saturday night, we're expecting some more snow potential as the front continues to move through. The European model is a little more aggressive with the snow totals from Friday night into Saturday morning, and then more snow from Saturday night into Sunday. But for now, we're going to keep our eye on this for you, let you know how it develops as we get closer to that cold front moving through. The current cold front, well, it's not really doing too much for us. This is going to pass overnight across the eastern section of the state, dropping temperatures tomorrow morning. You'll notice cloud cover when you wake up tomorrow, and definitely a chill, but daytime highs trending above average once again. So pretty pleasant Monday forecast. The long-term outlook for the Four Corners region is looking pretty good. We'll have that sunshine for Monday through Wednesday, then a few clouds toward the end of the week, but temperatures pretty stable. Ups and downs for the southern and eastern western zones. We'll definitely see some dips and dives in and around Silver City. Not so bad for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Hobbs, where the temperatures will eventually get back up into the upper 50s by Wednesday, then another dip before we return to the 60s. Cold morning lows will be the norm for Las Vegas, Raton, and Red River, and again trending above average with our daytime highs, and not a bad forecast for tomorrow. Cool for Santa Fe, then a little bit milder toward the middle of the week. We're going to keep things clear here in the Albuquerque metro. Most of us should settle in the low to mid 50s by the afternoon, but that 7-day forecast is definitely going to make us feel like we are in milder temps. We'll keep it pretty quiet as we head through the middle of the week.
And now here's
All right, it's going to be a cold one. We've been telling you this. Tomorrow morning, temperatures are going down. We'll settle in the upper 20s here in the Albuquerque metro, about mid-20s for Santa Fe. But north and east, there will definitely be that chill if you're out and about early. Tomorrow's a holiday for many, having that 3-day weekend with Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We'll definitely see tomorrow's temperatures begin to bump up across our southern zones into the 60s. North and east, though, we're going to hold back a bit. You'll feel that chill. But here in the Albuquerque metro, nothing but sunshine throughout the day and pretty comfortable temperatures. Long-term forecast definitely going to be changing. We'll hold on to lower 50s for the start of the week. Our warmest day will be Wednesday. We should hit about 57 degrees, but watch for that cold front Friday into Saturday. It could bring us some rain and even some snow.
Finishing the weekend with quiet weather. So what's next, Olga?
Oh, we have so much coming our way, especially toward the end of the week with a strong cold front. But for now, it looks like we're going to keep things in the clear. Forecast is definitely a little bit milder for this time of night than what we saw previously. We're going to continue with some pretty cold mornings, though, nonetheless. Right now, it is 27 in Durango. We're down to 30 for Reserve and sitting at around 30 degrees in Tucumcari, a little colder in Clovis and in Clayton. Again, it's going to be pretty clear tonight. A few passing clouds are possible, but we've already seen our temperatures take a tumble here in the Albuquerque and Santa Fe metros. Down into the 20s for Rio Rancho. We're still at 36 for Albuquerque, but that is not going to last much longer. Skies are clear. Stars are out, and we'll definitely see our winds do a little bit of a shift overnight tonight, and that's really going to set us up for some milder temperatures into tomorrow as we begin to pull in that westerly wind flow. The winds are at bay right now. These are our wind gusts, very light and variable, so we'll definitely see a quiet start to your Monday morning. It's going to be a cold one. These temperatures drop out of the 30s into the 20s, and then when you factor in the wind, it's feeling like 31 degrees right now, which means that as we get into tomorrow morning, maybe you have plans to get up, out and about, maybe do a day of service for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. If you're starting off early in the morning, you'll need that jacket. We're definitely going to be in the freezing realm for several hours to start. Looks like we're going to have a lot of sunshine for tomorrow. I'll be back to let you know just how that weekend cold front is going to impact the region.
Expecting a cold start tomorrow for Dr. Martin Luther King Day. Here's Olga with the forecast.
Yeah, these mornings have been quite chilly, especially across the northern tier. We're going to see some more of these teens and 20s for many. It was a cold start today. We did get some sunshine working in our favor, but those winds out of the north really kept things down. We don't have official numbers in till about midnight, but it's fair to say that we did warm things up nicely across the eastern end of the state, where we were chilly on Saturday. We made it into the 60s on Sunday, and tomorrow we're going to be cool again. So that's part of those yo-yo temperatures that we have in the east because of several backdoor cold fronts moving through. For the long term, though, it looks like the first half of this week is going to be pretty nice. Overnight, we will see a few of those clouds from time to time, and maybe even a few clouds early tomorrow morning. But the one thing I can guarantee is that these temperatures will be at or below freezing. We're already there in Rio Rancho and in Farmington, and we are getting there in Ruidoso and in Albuquerque, which is still in the middle 30s. About 35 degrees in Albuquerque right now, 32. So we've hit that freezing mark in Tucumcari, and we will definitely see that chill for several hours, especially early morning. Wind gusts have dialed back nicely. I think we're going to have a pretty quiet stretch wind-wise, but as we move through the remainder of the overnight into those early morning hours, it looks like we're going to see temperatures below freezing, many of us in those upper 20s to start us off tomorrow morning. Forecast long term looks like we're going to have a possibility for a very strong cold front to come through Friday into Saturday. Now, this is all dependent upon the timing. While our daytime highs have been above average, the overnight lows are continuing to trend below average, which means we could see a possibility of some rain and snow, maybe even a mix early on a Saturday morning, or we could even see some snow on the ground in several areas, especially up at our higher altitudes. Again, we are far out from this particular front coming through, so far it looks like Here in the metro, we should have just a few scattered rain showers mixing with snow. GFS forecast model for snow does pull in quite a bit of snow for our southern zones and the north and west. And this is taking you all the way into early Sunday morning. But then when we look at the European model, it does give us some opportunities for snow from Saturday morning in through Saturday night and then in through Sunday. Again, this is subject to change. It's still evolving how this front is going to affect us at the end of the week. We'll definitely get cloud cover and perhaps some rain and snow. For the short term, tonight into tomorrow, backdoor cold front is moving to the east overnight. We'll get some clouds early in the morning, but they're not going to last long. We'll definitely see some more of that sunshine beginning to filter in by Monday afternoon, and another cold night on Monday night going into Tuesday. That's one thing that is not going to change. For the Four Corners, we're going to keep sunshine around. Even though we're chilly overnight, our daytime highs continue to trend above average in the middle range and upper 40s for most of the week. 60-degree temperatures tomorrow for south and west for Silver City, but that means that we're going to really dip behind that next system come Tuesday. Long-term forecast is pretty quiet for our southern and eastern zones. Roswell, Carlsbad, and Hobbs, you'll be sitting in the 50s for most of the week. Got a shot at some 60s as we get in toward Thursday and Friday, and the sunshine will eventually return to Las Vegas, Raton, and Red River. One more cold day, another warm day, but the overnight lows basically in the teens and 20s. Santa Fe gets into the 40s for the most of the week, keeping it dry until Friday night into Saturday. And here in the Albuquerque Metro, we're going to enjoy some sunshine for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and then we will definitely see some colder air coming our way. That means early morning lows will be at or below freezing most of this week.
And now finishing the weekend with quiet weather, but will it stay that way through the week? Here's Olga.
Well, we had our challenges Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with winds with these up and down temperatures across the eastern flank of the state. Tonight, it's pretty quiet. Things have really quieted down in Silver City. Lights still flashing there, but we will see a very cool and clear night. A few fair weather clouds are passing across the Sunport's reporting station right now, but we do have some feels like temperatures making 36 degrees feeling more like 31. So keep that in mind if you're going to be out. There will be a wind shift as we head through the overnight. We'll begin to pull in more of an easterly wind flow, and that's definitely going to help us out temperature wise tomorrow. We won't be quite as cool as what we saw today. Current temperatures 27 in Santa Fe. We're at about 39 for Carlsbad, so a little milder down toward the south and a cool 27 up in Durango. As you wake up tomorrow morning, be prepared. You're going to need that jacket as you step out the door. We are improving, especially in the east where we saw all of that cold air yesterday, where we got our temperatures a little higher today, but we're still riding that temperature roller coaster, and it will be another cool one for tomorrow. The good thing is we don't have to contend with too much wind. Everyone at or below 10-mile-per-hour winds, so a pretty quiet night. Very little cloud cover showing up on the radar, but some of us might see a fair weather cloud or two early tomorrow morning, but it does look like the long-term forecast is going to be improving. We'll definitely see the possibility for some clouds in the morning, but cold temperatures for sure. I'll be back to let you know about that cold front headed our way for Friday into Saturday and let you know whether it's bringing us rain, snow, or both.
A cold start tomorrow for the holiday. Here's Olga with the forecast.
Yeah, definitely going to feel a chill tomorrow morning. This has been the case for the last couple of days, and you can see that jet stream just taking that dive, ushering in all that cold air. Now, we're not seeing the worst of us here in the land of enchantment, but some of our northern zones are already down below that freezing mark, especially across the north and the west. As we move in toward the next couple of hours, we'll see a few clouds passing from time to time. The winds have dialed back quite a bit. We do have 36 degrees, but when you factor in the wind chill, it is feeling closer to 31. So yes, a very cold night indeed. Our highs today did pretty well, especially across the east. That's where we saw cold temperatures yesterday, more mild temperatures today, and we're going back to cold again for tomorrow. So this up and down temperature flip and variability is going to stick with the eastern half of the state until we get into the Thursday time frame. Current forecast does call for a pretty quiet stretch. Notice nothing much really coming our way, but we do have our eye out for a cold front due to arrive sometime between Friday night and Saturday morning, and that could really stir things up, especially here around the Albuquerque metro. I expect temperatures to be in the upper 20s, lower 30s by sunrise, and then we'll definitely definitely see a trend that's going to keep us slightly above average each and every day. We should be sitting in the upper 40s. The peak, I think the warmest day of the week, is likely to be on Wednesday, but then as that front comes through Thursday into Friday, it will definitely cool things down. Now, there is a possibility that, depending upon the timing, that this front could even bring in some rain chances, and if it comes through during the early morning lows or the overnight lows, then we have some snow chances. So we're keeping an eye on that for you. The time frame to watch is as we head from the later portion of next week into the weekend. At this point, we're not really strongly confident that we'll get snow here in the Albuquerque metro, but the possibility for a few scattered snow showers, at least at this point, is on the board. GFS model does give us a little bit of snow Friday night into Saturday morning, then more snow from Saturday night into Sunday morning. Again, too soon to tell you depths and numbers, but the European model is also hinting that we could see some pretty good snow, especially across that northern tier and across our central mountain chain. So short-term forecast looks pretty good. Cold front, another one, backs through that eastern portion of the state. That's why we're going to be cold. Temperatures under the average for the eastern flank tomorrow, but be prepared tomorrow morning for those chilly temps. Passing clouds will clear by midday and beyond. We'll get some sunshine working from Santa Fe down toward Albuquerque and beyond, and then basically top out above average tomorrow as well. 50 degrees is your forecast high for the Four Corners region if you are in and around Farmington, and then pretty quiet forecast. We're very consistent toward the end of the week. There will be a bump up in temperatures for southern and western zones, which means we'll see 60 degrees for Silver City on Monday, and then we're going to back it down considerably into the 50s for the following day. Not a bad forecast for the eastern portions of the state. We'll definitely have a possibility for those cold morning lows in and around Roswell, Carlsbad, and Hobbs, and it looks like one more cold day for Las Vegas, Raton, and Red River tomorrow before we bump it right back up by Tuesday. Santa Fe, you're headed into the 40s for most of the week. You'll have your coldest day tomorrow, and here in the Albuquerque metro, we're looking good. Sunshine tomorrow, 50-degree temps after that cold start, but the long-term forecast is looking very, very good. We'll be at or above our average each and every day.